Powered by Riverside FM.
What's up, UP Nation? Another edition of Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button and consider becoming a member to earn a lot of fantastic perks out there. We're definitely going to reward our members. One event that's coming up when you become a member of UP Nation, we are going to give away to one of the members of UP Nation a Winter Warrior Minnesota Vikings jersey 2 weeks before the NFL draft starts. So please consider becoming a member. There's a lot of crazy things out there in terms of Vikings talk and what the Minnesota Vikings are going to do. And man, it just boggles the mind. The human brain is so intriguing. It's amazing that people can't see what's right in front of them. I'm going to tackle a lot of things today. The first one, Tom Pelissero. Our buddy Tom Pelissero has been consistent in talking about the Minnesota Vikings are going to bring back Sam Darnold in some capacity. I just don't understand why the Minnesota Vikings would do that. There are blueprints out there from a lot of teams that have had year after year success this year. There's a blueprint out there for the Minnesota Vikings to be able to follow. You need a quarterback, and you need a quarterback that has that dog in him. Sam Darnold, very serviceable quarterback. He's just not my dude for where I want to go, and I don't understand why people can't see that. Why in anyone's right mind, after the body of work that people have saw from Sam Darnold this year, other than him having great stats, being good, having over 100 quarterback rating, I don't know how many times, but when the lights were shining bright, what happened? I don't understand the fixation when you have J.J. McCarthy in the wings and you have other needs, especially when you know what the price tag is going to be for Sam Darnold. I don't understand why people want to bring him back. I don't even see why there's a discussion. You got to let him move on unless you can franchise tag him and trade him. I don't understand how people can ignore the last 2 games of the season. You need more than that. And if it's not J.J. McCarthy, it's going to be something else. But you know what Sam Darnold is. Then there's the talk about, well, bring Sam Darnold back just in case J.J. McCarthy's not ready. He can start the season if he comes back at a lower price. Maybe J.J. McCarthy can sit and still learn another year from Sam Darnold. You know, as soon as that type of stuff never works out. You know, as soon as Sam Darnold has a bad game and there is a healthy J.J. McCarthy in the wings ready to go, who are the fans going to be clamoring for? You know that if that situation occurs, Sam Darnold is going to be dead man walking. I don't understand why you would even want to put yourself in that situation if you are the Minnesota Vikings. I don't understand why people can't see what's in front of their face and trust their eyes. We did the same thing with Kirk Cousins. I knew Kirk Cousins wasn't up to snuff because I watched him for years with Washington. And why you would bring a guy in with that big a contract thinking that he was the dude after his body of work in Washington was going to be the guy that was going to get the Vikings over the mountain and get them to a Super Bowl, I just don't understand it. You're talking about guys that are getting paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. If you watch the playoffs, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, this is a copycat league. If you watch the playoffs, every team in the Final Four had a legit, lit offensive line. And I know the narrative has been we've got to improve that interior offensive line. It's been on every podcast. It's been on every news cycle. It's been off the lips of every analyst's mouth. The thing is, the Minnesota Vikings have to go all in. I am not doing anything else if I am the Minnesota Vikings other than improving that offensive line. I'm hearing guys talking about running backs. I'm hearing guys talking about cornerbacks. I'm hearing guys talking about defensive linemen. I'm hearing the guys talking about possibly bringing back Sam Darnold. I'm hearing all this stuff. I'm even hearing stuff about Aaron Rodgers possibly coming to the Vikings. The only thing that the Vikings should be concentrating on to get fixed first is that offensive line. Number one, because you got a new quarterback coming in J.J. McCarthy. If people don't screw that up and overthink it, decisions. Just keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. The Minnesota Vikings should be all in and improving that offensive line. And you may not be able to improve all three spots, the left guard, center, right guard. So if you had to get a little bit more specific, the guard spots are paramount. I can live, even though I don't want to, I can live with Bradbury for another year. I can live with Bradbury for another year. Just give me two stud guards. Just give me my boy Trey Smith, who brings in a championship pedigree from the Kansas City Chiefs. Pay him what he wants. Hand him a checkbook and say, Trey Smith, you fill it in. But I'm not spending a dime anywhere else until I get that offensive line certified to wreck shop. You can't mess this up. There is no overthinking. Just do it. The trenches are paramount. And when I'm done with the offensive line, man, I'm going to the defensive line. My goal is we are going to be the shizit in the trenches come next year without fail. We are going to solve it. All the stuff I'm hearing about everything else. You know what? Aaron Jones may not be what he was a couple of years ago with the Pack, man, but I'm just asking you the question. Is part of the reason why he couldn't get off because the offensive line wasn't what it was supposed to be? There's a chance of that, right? Fix the offensive line. You got to get this stuff right, man. All of the rumors and everything is just driving me nuts, man. People are overthinking this stuff. They're trying to be, there's a lot of analysts and stuff that are just trying to be the smartest people in the room. And it's so simple. It's so simple. People are talking about, man, we should get rid of Kwesi. And people are talking about, how can you get rid of Kwesi? Let me tell you something, man. The critics of Kwesi, even though I'm a Kwesi guy, I don't think Kwesi should be fired. But I understand. He's got to get the draft right. He's been getting a pass for other drafts. He's been getting a pass for other drafts. He can't have another bad draft. This one can't be bad. He's limited in picks, limited in resources. Got to get it right. Out of this draft must come starters and people that can fill some spots for the Minnesota Vikings. We can't go empty. Dallas Turner from last year's draft, next year's got to be a viable option for the Minnesota Vikings. I understand he's got two studs playing in front of him, but he's got to be more serviceable, or that pick is going down the wrong road too. And again, I'm a Kwesi guy, but why can't people just see what's right in front of them? Just because you criticize this draft doesn't mean that you're not a Kwesi guy. His draft picks have not been great. Where he has been stellar is in free agency. But he's got to be relentless there too, because it's going to make or break next year's season. We're going to have to fill some legit, and you're going to have to pay top dollar for people. You got the salary cap room to be able to do that. Go out and solve your offensive line problems. Go out and get Trey Smith. Don't lose that battle. If Trey Smith is not a Viking next year, one or two things happen. The Kansas City Chiefs offered him an unbelievable amount of money that he just couldn't turn down. Or Trey Smith just didn't want to be a Minnesota Viking. But it shouldn't be that there's just another team out there that outbids you, like the Chicago Bears. That can't happen. We must win the bidding war for Trey Smith. He solves a lot of problems. He is a force multiplier on the offensive line. Maybe you spend a little bit less cash on the left guard spot, but you got your stud in the right guard spot right next to O'Neal. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Man, it just amazes me that people can't see. It's such a simple thing to improve this team. I know there's a lot of dominoes that has to fall in place. I understand that. There's X factors all over the place, but you still can head down the road that you need to head down heavily focused with the purpose. And that's where the Minnesota Vikings have to be. That offensive line is more important than the defensive line, is more important than the cornerbacks, is more important than whether or not Harry the Hitman is going to come back, is more than important than do we sign Cam Beasley. It's more important than do we sign Murph. That offensive line is paramount. We've been kicking the can down the road for so long that it's time to get it fixed. All of the extra storylines that are permeating out there is just driving me nuts because this one is simple. This one is simple. JJ needs to start being your quarterback of the future next year, if he's fully healthy. You do not bring back Sam Darnold in any capacity. It's a waste of time and resources. Because as soon as he has a bad game, it's going to be the J.J. McCarthy show. So you might as well give J.J. the helm. Bring back Daniel Jones. Let Daniel Jones be his backup. And the program belongs to J.J. McCarthy. I've even heard people entertaining maybe we should bring Kirk Cousins back as a bridge. What? What? Are you kidding me? Everybody is overthinking everything. And I know part of it is people are bored. Minnesota Vikings aren't in the playoffs. Super Bowl's in a couple of weeks, so they're trying to find stuff to talk about. Man, this stuff is simple. You got to make the right decisions. Minnesota Vikings, kwesi, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. You've got to be all in the trenches. All in. You improve there, everything else falls into place, my friends. Man, what's driving you nuts during this offseason, UP Nation? Put it in the comments. Are you being driven as nuts as I am about all these rumors and speculation? Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold may all be heading to the Vikings? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I'm hoping that the Minnesota Vikings don't overthink this thing. They look at what's in front of them. They know where they're deficient. And they have to know that the offensive line is the most important thing that they have to improve during the offseason. That's got to get done. Don't do what the Minnesota Timberwolves did. Overthinking Big Cat's salary, and now they've been all over the place all year long, struggling everywhere. And I get the salary cap flexibility that everybody talks about, but we'll see where that gets them. Minnesota Vikings, kwesi, you guys have got to do the right thing and be smart. This is Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Please consider becoming a member. Lots of perks. be a part of that UP family. There's lots of perks. I guarantee you. This has been Unconventional Playbook. We will make sure to see you when we see you.